Hi guys, we're back again today with another video, and there's a couple of things that we're going to be looking at today, which may or not surprise you, given that I'm sure that you've checked out the thumbnail and the title of this video. So what I have placed before your very eyes is one of many Game Boy carry cases. This is one of the more popular ones, actually. I think they're quite funky, made by this ASCII company. And there's a couple of these ones. This is the smaller of the two. Two, is there a couple? Maybe three. One of the smaller variants. I picked this up on eBay. It arrived literally this morning, actually. And inside is a Game Boy, which was sold for spares and repairs. If you've got any interest in finding out, what spares and repairs actually means or what it could potentially mean, check out my earlier video that I did on spares and repairs. A bit of an insight into buying things off eBay that may or may not work. But yeah, that's just something for you to check out. So the two things that we're going to be looking at in this video, number one, is cleaning this case, getting it cleaned up, sort of restored to its former glory. And we're going to look at repainting the Game Boy, the embossed Game Boy bit on here. So we're going to look at trying to figure out the closest colour match, perhaps using something like a Pantone colour chart, and trying to decide really the best type of either paint or marker to try and bring this back to its former glory. I'm not going to be the one that's going to be painting it. I'm going to get my lovely assistant to have a go at doing that for me, because she is more artistic than I. She's got a better, steadier hand, and she won't fluff it up as much as I probably would. So we're going to get this apart in a moment, and as you can see, it's got lots of lovely grime inside it, a good 30 years worth of gunk. So we're going to get this strap off. I'll probably put that in the washing machine, and we're going to put this in the dishwasher and give it a good clean. I do try and buy Game Boys. Hey, look, I think that's the link cover. The link cover socket protector, what do you call it? Can we get that? Oh, there we go, look. That's a little bit of a Brucey bonus already. Jobs are good. Yeah, I try and, when I buy these bundles and stuff, I do try and get ones with games. Sadly, this one didn't come with any, but it is what it is. Now, one thing I also noticed, just before I started taking this to bits, is that the screws inside this are Phillips head screws. They're cross head screws, which is one of two things. Either somebody's been in this already, lost all the tri-wing screws and just put their own screws in, or this is one of the earlier Game Boys. So the first sort of batch that came out in 89, 90 actually came with crosshead screws inside in the case. As well as the screen and the board, whereas later models they put the tri-wing screws in, the security screws, if you want to call them that. So that, coupled with the fact that there's still got the sales repair hotline number sticker on, yeah, leads me to think that this is an early Game Boy. It doesn't really mean it's worth any more. It just means it's an earlier model, and as you can see, it's absolutely full of grime. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. It's got some lovely thumb cheese in there. Also, the battery contacts got some good levels of corrosion. Not too bad, not the worst I've seen. A bit of vinegar and a bit of a scrub should bring them up. If not, we can just put some fresh ones in. Zoom back out. There we go. So yeah, we're going to get this taken to bits. I'm going to throw it in the dishwasher. However, I'm probably not going to throw the battery cover in the dishwasher, because I would like to preserve that sticker. So I'm just going to give this a good sort of scrub by hand, and yeah, we'll try and bring that back up to something resembling clean. So we'll start. I think I got the right screwdriver. That would help. Yeah. We'll start disassembling this, and we'll get that thrown in the dishwasher. You can always tell when a Game Boy hasn't been interfered with. That sort of little crack and crunch. These screws, being turned for the first time. And unfortunately, sometimes that actually means that the plastic has gone brittle inside, and the columns that these are screwed into might be cracking. Doesn't always mean that. Hopefully, it won't be the case for these. Case. But we'll see. You'll also see that I'm using, oh man, these are stiff. These less than ideal screwdrivers. No, I wouldn't say less than ideal. These are freebies. These are ones that I got with the Game Boy Pocket screen that I installed. Again, you can check that video out on the channel. Whenever you tend to buy anything, any kits, any replacement shells, that kind of stuff, from eBay, AliExpress, etc. All the vendors are available. They bundle them with these, screwdrivers so that you're ready to go. So I've got hundreds of these knocking around. And whilst they're not mega ergonomic, I sometimes do like to use these just to show that people that are, attempting these repairs, perhaps even for the first time, if you've got a set of these free screwdrivers, you can use them. So I've done loads of Game Boy disassemblies, but if you're watching for the first time, just be mindful that when you open this, they are connected. Okay, there's this ribbon cable. It is nice and thick, so, unless you're a complete lunatic and rip it apart, you're not likely to break it. What we'll do is just pull down on the ribbon cable. You can give it a gentle wiggle if you want, and it will come apart. What we've now got is two parts. This one has 4 screws in, 2 for the board. And 2 for the jack plug, 3.5mm headphone socket at the bottom. Not sure if you can hear the birds, not sure if the microphone is picking the birds up outside. I've got the door open, and it really does finally feel like spring has arrived. Okay, so we can just go ahead and pop that out. Also, be aware, that the power switch is loose in the top. So we'll get that out. What we've also got are these battery connectors. Okay, so these 3 will also come out. You've got just some little raised bits there. If you just push them down gently and push away, they'll sort of like begin to slide out, and then you can just drop them out. We'll just put them to one side. What I'm going to do in a little while is soak them in some white vinegar. Try and get some of that rust and corrosion off. So you don't have to be... Dog agrees with me. He's loving the weather. You don't have to be too rough with those. They will come out. So we've got all that grime in there. Hopefully that's going to come out later on when we pop it in the dishwasher. You don't have to be too concerned about this foil sticker. If it's on when it should stay on. Obviously, if it's starting to come off, popping it in the dishwasher or washing it by hand vigorously, it will come off. But if it looks like it's on, then it should stay on. Bag stayed in today. Cheers. Okay, the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to pop the screen out. Earlier on when I was taking these screws out and I mentioned the columns that may crack, I was referring to these. Luckily, we've got all 6 that are in place. So happy days. Yeah, I agree, Doug. What we've got for the screen is 10 screws, which can be a bit of a pain on the old thumb joints, if you're like me. And you're getting on a little bit. So you may want to invest in, you know, an electric screwdriver. I do have an electric screwdriver, battery operated one. Which the dog does not use, despite his best efforts. But again, like I said, I just want to show that if you're repairing something like this for the first time, or perhaps you've bought yourself a new shell and you want, because you know, maybe your old one is manky and you're wanting to, I don't know, upgrade your old Game Boy. Lots of reasons why you might be watching this. It can be done with these free screwdrivers that come with the kits. So we've got 10 screws here. We're all out. Oh, Mr. Robin. There's probably going to be a bit of glue holding this board down. Over the years it might have dried up, so it might just come away nice and easy. You don't need to be too violent with it, too vigorous. It should just come away. Just be mindful when you're taking it out. There we go. Pop that to one side. Inside we've got these rubber silicone contact things. You can just take them out and then that reveals your buttons. And again, lots of cheese, lots of thumb sweat and Lord knows what over there. And then if you're going to the trouble to take it apart, I would recommend, these are normally quite battered up, so let's just pop that off. That's literally just dropped off in my hands. And you can certainly pick new plastic ones up, a little more than £1. If you want to shell out for a couple more pounds and get yourself glass one, definitely would recommend that. Just makes it nice. So we'll pop that to one side. That's going to go in the dishwasher in a little while. The other thing I said we were going to do, we're going to get that case in the dishwasher as well. Let's have a look and see which bits we can take off this. So we'll probably leave that on. We'll probably leave that on. I think what we'll do is we'll just try and get this strap off. Yeah, we'll get the strap off, Doug. No, it's not a lead. It's not walkie time. I think it would be quite funny if you can't hear my dog. Oh no, you can definitely hear that shortly. There we go. So that comes apart. There we go. We'll wipe that in the washing machine, I think, just to give it a nice wash. And this is going to go in the dishwasher. And like I said, we're going to perhaps use a Pantone colour chart or some sort of app. Finished. Good. To try and identify that blue, we'll get some paint ordered from Amazon or eBay. And we'll have a go at painting that up. So from both me and from the dog, it's bye for now. Right then, folks. So it's been a couple of days since I've last picked up on this with the weekend and whatnot. It's been a bit busy. So I threw the dishwasher all over the Game Boy. Threw the Game Boy in the dishwasher and it's come up beautifully as expected. I whacked this on a 65 degree wash and it's perfectly fine. I didn't put the backside in like I said I was going to do. I cleaned that by hand because I wanted to try and maintain the integrity of this sticker. So I'll probably go over that again with a bit of IPA just to try and really bring it up. But the rest of it, it's looking really smart. This bit, you'll notice it's severely lacking in colour now. So the 65 degree wash did take off a lot of what were left of this paint. But that's fine because we're going to have a go at repainting this anyway to see what it comes out like. And then I did go over it again with a baby wipe just to try and get the rest of it off. It shows up on camera pretty well that there's still a little bit of faded blue there, but it's generally all gone. And actually, to be fair, I personally think it doesn't look too bad as it is now with just that sort of hint of blue. But yeah, I'm going to pop down to the hardware store later and try and find a colour that matches this blue. I also whacked the strap just in the washing machine, just on a regular wash. So that's brought that up all nice and clean. Smells lovely. And I'll be putting that back on after we've repainted this. I want to keep it out of the way so I don't get any paint on it. I can't remember actually earlier on in the video if I showed these contacts on camera. I think I may have done. And again, I popped them out and just left them soaking in white vinegar just overnight. And these have come up, just zooming a little bit on those. Those have come up really well, really shiny. All the gunk and grime and stuff has come off those. So they should be good to go. But as is always the case with the videos of this nature, things never run completely smoothly. I connected the screen back to the motherboard and connected up my USB power pack, 5-volt power pack. Turned it on to test the screen. The screen looked fine. Then, almost literally before my eyes, some of this manky, I believe it's referred to commonly online as screen cancer. I don't like saying that. I'm not a big fan of that word. But almost literally appeared before, oh, my finger's dirty, before my very eyes, which is not good because as far as I'm aware, this is terminal, essentially. You can't get rid of this. I've read a couple of blogs where people have said that they've used pencil erasers and stuff and really pushed down on the screen and it's moved it. I don't, not 100% sure of the legitimacy of that. So this screen for me now is going to go in the spares and repairs bin. I'll probably take the speaker off to use on a different project for something else if I buy an IPS screen that doesn't come with a speaker. However, for now, I've got an IPS screen whisking its way via AliExpress, which is going to come sometime between now and November. And given that it's April now, I'm hoping you'll find the comedy in that sentence. But no, it should take about a week or so to come, which is fine. I've got lots of other bits to keep me busy. So I think really for now, we're going to shelve this project. I'm going to rebuild the back end of this to tidy some of this up. And yeah, we'll pick up on this project when the screen arrives, because I think it's going to take me a day or two to get down to the hardware store to get some paint for this. And I've got a few other projects on the go. So obviously for you guys watching this, it'll be a matter of seconds before we move into the next section of the video. But for me, it'll be a week or two. So yeah, see you in a little while. So it's been, what has it been? About 10 days for me since I last picked up on this video. Obviously for you guys, it's only been a matter of seconds. In that time, a couple of things have happened. Number one, I've invested in a new light, which is currently sat here on a couple of boxes. You might recognise the gaming stick box from a previous video. I think inevitably at some point it's probably going to fall over. So if you see that happening later on in the segment, then so be it. But yeah, hopefully it's not going to, it is quite bright. I need to try and figure out something. That's a later thing to do, but for now, I'm hoping that is going to eliminate the shadow that normally forms from the lights above. Now, the other thing that's happened is that the screen that I ordered from AliExpress has arrived. I think I paid 30 something, £36 maybe, 37 including shipping and taxes and sort of things that they bolt on at the end. I ordered the one that came with the speaker, and I'm going to touch on that in a minute. The Eagle Eye viewers might spot something there. So the one I've ordered is the no-cut one, because, again, fans of the channel will know I hate cutting cases and screwing, making holes in things. I'm rubbish at it, so I try and avoid that as much as possible. So I've ordered the one that's got the slightly smaller screen, but which won't require me to make any cuts to this. I may have to make some slight cuts to the case on this side to accommodate the wheels. I'm not 100% sure yet. I can't fully remember, and frankly, I can't be bothered to go back through the order and double check. That I don't mind doing because I can just grind it and add a little bit with the old Dremel.
but cutting out here, I really don't like to do. So going back, so the other thing that I mentioned was the speaker. Now, again, if you are familiar with IPS mods and things like that, you'll know that traditionally they didn't come with a speaker. You would have to source the speaker from your own board, which was sort of fine because it's attached to the screen, which is kaput, so you're going to get rid of that. So you can put your old speaker on it. This one, I don't think I even spotted this in the listing, has come with not only its own speaker, but one that you can just plug in. You don't even have to solder it, which is great if you're not very good at soldering. You know, if you just want something you can literally, almost literally, drop in, this is great. So I'm intrigued to see how this plays out in a little bit. I'm not going to talk all over this. I'm just going to put some padding music over this. I'm just going to let you watch me put this screen in, and hopefully the new light, which is just sort of up there, won't collapse and interfere with everything. So yeah, here we go. Right, so let's get Choplifter. Get it in, get it powered up. Full blast. Yeah, I'm not sure how well that sound comes across on camera. I mean, that doesn't sound too bad. It's not too bad actually. So it's quite loud. Just that initial ping, the initial Game Boy ping. Must have heard it thousands of times. It doesn't quite sound the same. Don't quite know how to describe that. Nope. Strange that is as well, isn't it? It's not even out. It stopped. There we go. Right, let's have a look at, see if we can figure out some options in this game. On the screen, sorry. So we've got... Okay, so just moving it up and down alone doesn't do anything. What about if we hold it? Okay, so if we hold it, oh, and hold it down, brightness increases and decreases. Just wondering what this looks like. If we push in, loading project. Okay, so we've got some preset color schemes. Okay, some preset color schemes. Okay, they look quite nice. And that is about, if we hold in, okay, so if we hold in the contrast wheel, okay, then once the menu's appeared, you press it again. And again, oh, you can adjust the position as well, which is quite useful if it's not sat right. That's very useful. We can do position. We could put lines on if you want to have that effect. You can really go into some detail customizing the color to the nth degree. I'm assuming you can then save them. Yeah, so we're whizzing through those presets and then you can save your presets once you're done. That's quite nice. This is one of the better IPS screens that I've had. I've had a few of them in the past. First one I had seemed to be really good. And then a couple of ones after that, which I paid the same amount of money for a little while later, didn't seem to be as good. This seems to be the cheapest. It also seems to be the best. Need to figure out how to get down to that save and exit. Oh, there we go. Yeah, okay. So, not something I thought I was going to be doing on this video. Replacing the screen. Obviously, the random occurrence of the screen death has sort of twisted my arm a little bit. But, you know, we've gone ahead and popped in a IPS screen, and that's, yeah, cool. So, I also popped out and picked up some paint from the local hardware store. I couldn't quite find what I felt was an exact match. Spent quite a lot of time there trying to hold up colour cards to this. So in the end, I bought some blue and I bought some white. And I thought, let's just see if we can try and get down to this colour. So the next thing we're going to be doing is looking at painting up the Game Boy embossing. That is going to happen on another day. Obviously for you guys, it will be a matter of seconds, but for me, it's going to be a few days' time. So, yeah. Woo! Hi, folks. So, earlier on in the video, I said that I'd popped to the hardware store and I'd bought some of these little tester pot things, which you can't see because I've not put them in the right place. And it turns out that these aren't very good for painting or anything like that. So we went down back to the hardware store and we picked up this massive box of different coloured acrylic paints, probably a bit overkill. But actually, at least what we've got is the colour that we needed. So I've now enlisted the services of our special guest in this video, which I guess you would call
Mum Games.
Mum Games.
Say hi, Mum.
Hi.
So I'm going to pass this over to Lad and Mum, and we'll leave you in their capable hands to sort of give a bit of narration about what's going off and waffle, and then we'll perhaps speed this bit up, or I don't know, we'll see. Over to you guys.
And listen to this, by the way.
Like and subscribe. Yeah, always.
Yeah.
Go on then. What?
So we're going to paint this bit here, and as you can see, this colour is a perfect match to these. So we're just going to paint them. And Mum, try to do it as neat as you can.
Yes, boss. So with the paints that we had, the emulsions, they were definitely not going to work, and it would have been quite difficult to get a colour match. But by some fluke, this seems to be an exact colour match, just completely by chance. Whether or not it will stay on is questionable, but I might see if there's any way of touching up some of these bits here. So obviously, because it's raised, this is going to be a bit more straightforward. I suspect, looking at it, we may need 2 coats. What do you think, Lad?
I mean, looking at how thick this is,
Oh, mind your fingers.
we might need another bit.
Yeah, I think it might need 2 coats. I have just been decorating a wall. This is significantly easier. I don't have to climb a ladder for this one, which is always good. Yeah, because I think the first coat is going to go on a little bit stripy almost. Oops, I don't want that. Lad, can you find me a cotton bud, please?
Yep.
Thanks. Should probably have thought about that before I started the painting, but because I want to put it on thick enough that it goes on, but not so thick.
How many?
Just one will do, thanks. That it takes forever to dry, because that is obviously a risk, and obviously we want it to look kind of authentic, but I don't know if that is a bit thick. I think. Good colour.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We can have you in charge of the cotton budding.
Well, not really, because that's a...
Mm.
There we go. Better. What's Dad doing?
Something for the next video. Probably not.
Which we will release in how long?
I don't know.
About a week.
This is definitely going to take 2 coats, by the way.
Yeah. I thought you used this colour for a minute. I'll try and get it under the camera. Oh no, you just see my arm. But it's called Ultramarine. And I don't know what this one is. It looks like something blue.
I'm not actually happy with that colour, you know. It looks like it should be the same colour. Maybe it will be when it dries.
I mean, we might use like a
What do you
different
think?
colour for that. Wait, I'll see what colour this is.
I think what the thing that we've set out to do is try and see if it is or isn't possible to bring this back to something close to the original. You know, when we got it, it needed stripping back anyway. It was half done and half not. So worst case scenario is we can take it all off again, and you know it's not worked.
I think it will work, but trying to get it thin enough as a coating. I think what actually would be better, you know, is if I do a coat and then almost wipe it completely off,
Yeah.
and then do another coat and do the same.
Try that then.
So if you get,
Look a bit better.
have you got some
this colour.
tissue? I think that's too bright. I think we need It's just not quite what I thought the colour was.
But perhaps use cotton bud and IPA. Would that be too much?
IPA will take it off.
Strip it back too
Yeah.
much.
Because actually you could have a base coat of the colour and then it might dry the colour that we want anyway.
Yeah, I suppose it
So-
makes sense to have a base coat.
Yeah. Oh, that didn't work. Stupid girl.
I realise that was my try and turn it back on.
No, it won't, because I'll wipe it off. Because then what I can do is I'll do another coat, but with a colour that is more correct.
We could use some watercolour then.
The watercolour won't stay on though, that's the problem. Acrylic will.
Might actually need a third coat.
Yeah, it will work eventually, but I need to get the colour right for the next layer. Seeing how, I think it would depend on how this one dries, I think. Yeah, it's definitely not the right colour. But that's on. Weirdly, it's right in the tube, but not.
Maybe you could mix it with a little bit of black.
I think you're probably right. Actually, it does need to be mixed.
Like just a tiny bit.
Yeah, it does need to be mixed with.
Should I get a bit with it?
No, because it'll need a bit of, I reckon, green.
Which green?
I don't know, but a tiny bit of black, I reckon, just to brighten it up, or maybe even some bit of yellow. But we'll do that once this first layer's dry. I always knew my art GCSE would come in useful for something.
And I bet you said to your friends.
I didn't have any
Gonna
friends.
be on YouTube.
No, I didn't have any friends. Well, YouTube didn't exist when I was at school.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was back then.
Yeah, back in the day, when God was a boy.
When who?
God was a boy. Older than the internet.
Oh,
I know, right?
bet that makes you feel old.
It does.
Wait. This Dad Lad Games,
Mm.
Is he younger than the internet?
No, he's older than the internet too. We're both on.
Oh, you need a walking stick.
We do.
Cotton pudding. I'll get the black out.
Well, we might do that later because there's no point making it until we need it, and this has got to be completely dry before we do that. Out. In fairness, it won't take long to dry.
You also got on this to write share.
All right.
That way we could get more views, which makes money, which means we can make better, more improved videos.
I feel like Alethea on the Steve Marsh videos.
And that was just a shout out to Steve Marsh.
I don't know who was in the market of promoting other YouTubers.
He's a completely different kind of YouTuber, let's face it.
Yeah. I just tried on the top.
Oops.
You just did something.
Right, I'm going to say we need to leave that to dry.
Shall I zoom in a little bit so we can see? So
It's not a very good job so far, but
You might have to.
it definitely needs a second coat, and the colour, although it looks all right on the camera, in real life I wouldn't be happy with that. So I think maybe a second coat with a slightly better colour.
Maybe use like you can make the cotton wood a bit thinner,
Yeah,
and then get these little bits there.
yeah.
And I'll be in charge of that, I think.
I will, you know.
I can see something. You can't. You're old.
Thanks.
See you in a second.
all right, so we've left it a short amount of time to dry, and just over here in the testing area, Mum's been mixing up some paints.
Experimenting.
Yeah, we think we've got something that's close to it. So she's had a go, sort of rubbing it off, in the time off camera, and we're gonna give it another go.
So I'm still going to go with a very thin layer, and maybe, what do you reckon, lad? Will it need another coat, do you think? It's still not exactly the right colour, but it's as close as I can get it without spending the rest of my life trying to find the right blue. And I think once it's dried in a slightly thicker layer, it will probably look better. There we go. So, oh, actually, it's definitely looking a bit better. I think the thing is trying to get it really thin is really hard. What do you think, Lado?
Yeah, mine's like fourth layer.
Fourth? I'm only on 2 now.
But that's sixth, I'm sorry.
I suppose there is that. Oh.
And also do this.
Yes. think touching up the edges with some isopropyl alcohol might be a bad idea. That's the one. Or do you mean IPA like the beer?
I don't think that would work.
No. No, I think you're right.
There's the one thing that we've got going against us is the lighting situation. Regular viewers of the channel will know that we do struggle with light, and aside from a massive spotlight that I bought, we still do struggle with shadows. Shadows, yeah.
S-H-A-D.
I'm not really able to turn the flash on the camera, and now we started recording.
I mean, anybody watching this is going to think this is the most shoddy job in the world. I'm not sure that's actually making much difference anyway.
No. No, don't do that. We'll put some padding music in. Bedding track. I think one more rub down with newspaper afterwards, and then
Yeah.
one final coat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's starting to look really good now, actually.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I'm not convinced.
Yeah.
Still not quite the right colour.
Dog agrees.
More tissue though, please. This is the bit that I've got is far too dirty. I'm just only going to get.
Did you use what?
I've used everything that. Yeah. Thank you.
There's a tiny bit there that needs a bit of paint.
I know, but I'm just
Oh, it says it on the tissue.
yeah, it does. Boy. Yeah, I reckon if we just leave that for now, it'll dry really quickly. And I'm on a mission now. I've got so much to do, and I'm just now on a mission to try and get exactly the right colour paint.
Yeah, we're pausing for
Yeah,
now.
pause it for now.
Yeah.
I reckon.
See you shortly. So we've let that last coat dry, and we're gonna hit it with one more coat. So you can see, you know, it.
On there, it looks like quite a good match.
Yeah. So we've decided that, like I say, whatever happens with this coat, it's going to be the last one. We don't want to spend hours on it. More of an experiment, really, and something that, you know, if we can do something that then other people can pick up on and follow, and use as a bit of a guide, then yeah, so be it.
I did wonder if it was possible to use like the cry cut machine to print a sticker in the exact right colour, because I wonder if you were online, you could probably download the exact shape and size and print it on a sticker. That might be something worth looking into.
Like a vinyl decal.
Yeah. Because you can always take this off again, can't you? In the same way that you got the original off.
Yeah.
So-
IPA, and strip it off.
Yeah.
In seconds.
So it can sit as it is for now, and then maybe try that. Because I think a vinyl decal, the exact right shape and size, which you could definitely do, would probably work better than paint. And do you know anybody with a craft machine?
Anybody out there that's watching this that has one, get in touch.
I mean, it's definitely not perfect. Don't look close, but it's blue and it says Game Boy.
It is, and it does.
I'm gonna stop.
Yeah, I think we should leave it at that. I think that looks good, and we'll just zoom in a little bit. Like you say, on the camera, it'll look.
The colour looks just far better on the camera. We'll stick with that. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I say, we've just used boggy acrylic paint that we picked up from local B&M bargains. Actually, obviously other discount stores are available, but it was literally just these small tubs of acrylic paint with a water pack, and that's what we've gone for. So, you know what? If you have one of these and you decide, you know what, I'm gonna have a go at doing it yourself, repairing one, what would you call it? You know, like restoring it, for want of a better phrase. Give it a go with these. You can see the results that we've had. Yeah, as always, if you've enjoyed this video, then happy days. Our main, well, that's your hand on the TV. You know, if you've enjoyed it, then that's ace, because that's all we set out to do with these videos, as always. But a little Brucey bonus would be for us if you could like, subscribe and share. Drop us any comments, share your thoughts and feelings. Please be nice. And yeah, really, for now, we're going to say bye-bye. And Boyland Games have gone off somewhere to
Play a game.
Yeah. So it's just the two of us. But yeah, I guess it's going to be bye for now. Bye-bye.